Hello peoples, and this is Vampire the Masquerade. A game produced, well, this system was originally produced by Wolf as a tabletop game. And then it sort of was filed by Joe in a joint collaboration to produce this game we see for you. And its predecessor, Vampire the Masquerade, the Requiem, which I guess now in the new world is just Vampire the Requiem, which is, let's just say I missed the old system. Now we're going to do a new game. And we're going to go directly to the character screen and set your class. A little if stuff about gameplay wise. The Bruja are pretty much just straightforward. Beat 'em ups. They're very okay. They're very good at beginner kind if you don't really know what you're doing and this is your first playthrough. The Grandal are more of an interesting class, as they use animals, change into more animalistic shapes. Basically their whole idea is they're more in touch with the beasts and stuff, so they get special place. Moncavian. Now these are the there's the insane game plan. But they do get obfuscate, which is nice. And the only way you can get obfuscate in this game is basically you either have to be insane or you have to be Nosferatu. And we'll see them in a second. Actually, the very next one, how convenient. This is Nosferatu. Basically, they're the old vampire types. It's what you think an old vampire would be in the Dark Ages? No, there you go. They are cursed by deformation by the blood. So their basic thing is that they can't be seen by anyone who doesn't know about the masquerade. So it's very hard, somewhat difficult to play them. Basically you have to run around the sewers a whole bunch. And that can be somewhat tedious. The Tordos. These are the pretty boys. They're more sociable. They do get a few different abilities, so if you want to play but you kind of want to get more of a social interaction, these are the guys you usually go for first. Terramore. The Terramore are the blood mages. Yep. I think the Terramore are pretty beastly, but actually. But they're not the most physical guys, which is okay for me because I don't usually put too much emphasis on physical stuff. More of a gun guy myself. In the Ventura, these are the most aggressive guys socially. When I say the most aggressive guys socially is that they have a neat ability called Dominate. And what Dominate does is it makes people do what you tell them to do. It's kind of nice. But these kind of also has a reputation of having a bug up their asses. So if you don't mind playing an asshole, or if you plan on playing an asshole anyways, you might as well go Venture. But for me, we're gonna go with blood mages, and we're gonna become a female because I'm pervy. I like the skirt. Gosh, and skirts are the things that do it for me. Yes, I'm really old-fashioned, weird like that. Yes, I'm very pervy. Yes, I know you're not really shocked. I'm guessing your thoughts. Ooh. I'm sorry. Histories were put back in the patches, the unofficial patches, made by the score is WS. Now there are lots of them you can choose. And also basically they change around your starting points a bit. But we're gonna go with eerie presence for this one. Most vampires have no problem fitting in normal society. You don't know what it is, but you just can't hold up. You're doing everything they're doing, but something about you seems to make humans uneasy. Something seems like they could just sense you. You were a perfectly affluent, intelligent human. So what gives? Basically says is that you were so much a bookworm that socializing becomes harder, and as a vampire that sort of becomes way harder because you're just not good at it. It costs less experience to raise your mental attributes, but it costs you more experience to raise your social attributes. And which I'm gonna go ahead and let that be as is, because there's really only point thing you need to do is raise your charisma, and all the ones you can just sort of make side, or at least the way I play. Some people might play differently, but we're gonna go ahead with this. And then you've got your physical, your social, mental. Well, those are your attributes, and then you have your abilities. Each which are branched into 3 trees, and then you have your disciplines. Physical, you got strength, dexterity, and stamina. Strength, how much damage you do. Dexterity, how much you can sort of manipulate things a little bit. And stamina, that's how much you can take. Your stubbornness. And then social, it sort of mirrors that as well. You have your powerful, your power, your charisma, how much force you can put in your social ideas. Manipulation, how much you can like tweak things to make you go your way. In your appearance, how much resolve do you have. Same thing with mental, your perception, and how much you can see, and your intelligence, how much you can sort of like move it back and forth a little bit to suit your needs. And then you have your wits. It's like, do you have your wits about you? And we're ready to input 1 point in wits and 1 point into perception. Perception is important to a guy who is going to do a lot of ranged combat, which is what I'm going to do. Physical, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put it into lockpicking. Dexterity, because you get lockpicking and sneaking. And those are somewhat important. I mean, they can help you out a little bit near the end. And let's check out our talents. You get 2 talents, and put 1 in subterfuge because it can be kind of helpful. And then 1 in brawl, because unarmed, that's basically it helps you feed easier, which is good, especially in combat when you sort of need to feed like all the time. Skills, like because I'm playing the Tremere, they don't get too many skills because that's just not the thing. But I'm gonna be somewhat getting a lot of these skills. So you want to put in security, get some lockpicking, or put firearms or melee. Melee is also important. Security, lockpicking is sort of important at the beginning, I guess. The knowledge, you get 3 of them. This is why I like them. They get 3 knowledges, which is really important. And I usually dump them all into scholarship, because scholarship increases your research and your persuasion. Persuasion is very helpful because you get further dialogue options. And as I said earlier, because we had that eerie presence thing, we can't really raise our charisma very easily. So this will help us at the beginning. In scholarship, look at this research stat. What research does is it lets us read books going down the line, which is very, very helpful. And it will help us supplement and save a little bit of XP. And so I just basically use scholarship as a second charisma, but with research, which is good. Investigation, that's again how much you perceive things. And it's like, I'm gonna go hunting for something, you can just basically see it. Finance is how much you can haggle a little bit, and I don't find it that particularly useful. And the computers, how much you can actually hack. Actually, no. That's okay. We'll just leave it there. There's a book coming up, I guess. And disciplines. These are what make you a vampire. This is what makes you ultra powerful. Aspects. Aspects, basically, you can see things better. Basically, you can see and predict things a little bit easier. Basically, you get somewhat of an insight, a jump start, right, I should say. Blood heal. Basically, in this patch, you get more of heat. Things don't regenerate easier, you just have to heal yourself a bunch, which can be somewhat difficult. Blood buff, basically this increases your attributes, physical attributes, 4 times, which can be helpful, but I just don't know if I can use that too much. I haven't really done this part. I played the regular lane a whole bunch. I haven't used this particular patch before, but I think it'll be fun. Yeah. Dominate. This is what I was talking about earlier with the Ventru. They can dominate people. And I don't put too many into dominate because I just don't find it very useful. Let's see. First one is Trance, and it's a very nice ability actually. It makes them go boop for a little bit, especially if you're not a very sneaky character. You just kind of want to get through really quickly. Also helps feeding. Forgetful Mind, very erasing that victim. Well, maybe I should look into this a little bit more. And then the maturity. The maturity. This is basically what the Trip Amir is all about. It's their